All right, well, Angela, real pleasure to meet you again today, and thanks so much for taking a busy day out of your schedule to participate in this CEO for a Day program with us. We really appreciate that.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I know we're only a few hours into the program with Avon here today, but how's it going so far? Any sort of key takeaways for you?
Sure. I mean, it's been an incredible morning, really. Quite busy, as it always is in this organisation, but it's been wonderful to spend some time with the young talent and to showcase a little bit what we do. And it's also been a good reminder, I guess, that to think about more often leadership as well as the more technical and tactical things that we do every day. We had a very nice conversation with Avon this morning around his views on leadership. We talked a bit about gender diversity and diversity generally. So it's been insightful for me as well, actually, to hear directly from a young person who's about to embark on their career in terms of what's important to them. And it's not I guess misaligned with what we're seeing in research and reading in the research on those topics.
That's great, that's great. As you look at these young leaders coming today, you know, about to embark on their first career steps coming out of university, how do you think the challenges are different for them versus for yourself, you know, when you took those first steps however many years ago? How have things changed, do you think?
Well, I think the business challenges are more or less the same, and we're operating in competitive environments. We have to be close to our customers. We need to have a strong value proposition. So those fundamentals in business are the same. But I think what has changed is the approach to leadership. So when I started out my career, you know, I think really technical capability was what was really valued. And in order to develop that technical capability, one needed to spend a bit of time in the same job to prove oneself and to get the depth of experience. And there was, I guess, a certain attitude of, well, if you have technical capability, then you're going to be a good leader. And I think that's probably the main and major shift, I think, these days. It is now very much recognised that you can be a very, very strong leader without necessarily having to have that foundation of technical capability. They're almost two distinct disciplines in a way. So I think that it's a change for the better, because in that way we can actually get the best out of people and teams, because if you need strong technical people, then that's great, but you also need people to be able to lead those teams on projects and initiatives. So it's the combination of the two that really make more powerful teams, in my opinion. So the challenge, I think, for the young leaders today is to really understand that academic results at this stage of, say, Avon's career are important, very important, that's for sure. It tells you something about a person, yeah? Interest areas, what they're good at, that they can read a text and regurgitate, that they can maybe think in a certain way, and that's all really good stuff. But what's important also is to get that balance right around really spending some time on the leadership discipline too. So the challenge is working in more adaptable environments and being, I think, clear on what it is that you want to be. And sometimes that might mean that you have an orientation more towards the technical side. And I think realising that being the CEO may not be the be-all and end-all for your career, you see, and having the courage to, I guess, reflect and act on that is a challenge for young people today. I think also it's a highly competitive environment in terms of talent. So working out where your strength is as a leader is, and how to actually sell that is another challenge for young people. And yeah, I think they're probably the main changes and challenges that I would see.
Right. Something that we hear a lot as we talk to our clients are kind of the 3 A's, and you know, the aptitude, attitude, and agility of mindset. Is that the kind of thing as well that you would look for in?
Absolutely. I mean, I think without adaptability or agility, then you potentially miss a trick in a way, because I think in order to build a really rewarding career, one needs to have a breadth of experience. Because it's in having those experiences that you build character, that you understand yourself better and you understand other people better. And that takes I guess the balance between knowing how long to stay in a position and build that depth versus when to then step out and stretch yourself. And it's really only, I think, through taking those risks of stretching yourself that you grow as a person, right? And therefore grow as a leader if that's the direction that you're going in. So I think those opportunities in life should be taken because they provide you with some unique insights and experiences perhaps that you wouldn't get if you were more on a linear sort of career path.
As you look back, Angela, and you think through the evolution that you've gone through as a leader, you talked about sort of technical depth early in the career and obviously becoming I guess a more rounded leader. Who or what has been your greatest influence over that time? Where have you sort of taken that guiding light from, if you like?
So one of the people that really influenced me was a little bit sort of later on, I would say, towards the midpoint of my career. So I've always worked with people who have supported me and challenged me and I guess gave me encouragement to go into areas that perhaps I didn't think that I was capable of doing, and I think that's important in anyone's career, is just have those supporters. But there's one person that stands out, and it was when I was working in Sydney, our head of HR was female. And she just approached things differently. She was very much a strategic thinker. She would always walk the floor and really get a pulse of what was going on, and she would talk to people, and she really got to know people, and through that she then designed programs for people, and she sponsored people in a way to stand out. And so having that support and the resource behind to really learn some new things about leadership. And one of the key things that still stays with me today in terms of that learning is sometimes when you're embarking on a leadership journey, it can feel at times quite overwhelming, right? Because there can sometimes be a tendency to be perfect or be the same leader as everyone else. And what I learnt through my interactions with her and the support that she gave me was that defining what sort of leader I wanted to be and being comfortable in my own skin is going to be more successful than trying to replicate somebody else's leadership style. And so that's been an amazing tool for me because I take my learnings, if you like, and cues sometimes from a range of different people. I think mentoring is very important, but I actually think that having more than one mentor is important, and those mentors don't always have to be visible or in a structured environment, I should say. So looking at the different styles and experimenting with that and learning what works for you is, I think, something that she really encouraged me to do. And I'm forever grateful for those insights from her in particular.
And great for these youngsters today to find a mentor or recognise the capabilities of somebody that could be a mentor and help them along the way is pretty important, right?
It is, and it's a little bit about recognising that there are different styles and that you can take bits and pieces from, a range of people and then make it your own.
Indeed. What attributes do Lloyd's or you as a hiring manager in your HR team, what do they look for in new hires bringing youngsters into the business?
Sure. So the adaptability word is, obviously comes out again because that's how you can make the most of the resources you've got. You need people who can respond in a range of different challenging situations that are willing to take on new challenges and small risks, and I think that's really important. Having the ability to work with others, so this collaboration piece is really important, not just for Lloyd's, but I think anyone who's working in a global business. You need to be able to access resources in multiple jurisdictions in order to be effective. So that the ability to collaborate is really important. And that's not to say that people need to be always working in teams, but I think being able to switch between, getting the individual pieces of work done and knowing where that fits in the broader team environment is really important these days. I think organisations are working under constraints. Very much so, and so it's a matter of necessity actually to work with people and get the best out of those people on any project or interaction that you have.
Right. As over recent years, many businesses, and I'm sure Lloyd's would not be an exception, is seeing their environment changing, disrupted by technology. That, I guess, also has an impact on leadership capabilities, right? Mindsets and stuff. What could you say to these people like Avon today? How can they future-proof themselves when things are changing so quickly these days.
Well, there's absolutely no doubt that the pace of technological change is amazing compared to even 5 or 10 years ago. Technology is disrupting businesses, and insurance, the insurance industry is no exception to that. Is there a future-proofing? Yes, definitely. And I think it really comes down to working out how to harness technology to be more effective, rather than being a victim to technology. Because in many industries, particularly service-based industries, which the insurance industry is one of them, where real innovation happens and where real growth and sustainable businesses come from is having that human interaction. So if you can utilise and harness technology to create efficiencies, then people can get on and do more interesting work. They can have better conversations with customers, spend more time understanding the customer needs and working with them towards products and services that they really want. And that's really the shift that we're seeing in the insurance industry at the moment, and I'm sure in many other industries such as accounting and finance, for example.
Right. We live in a rapidly changing world, don't we, Angela?
Sure do.
Yeah.
Sure do.
On that note, I should let you get back to your busy day, and thank you so much again for participating and supporting us in this program, and enjoy the rest of the day with Ava there. Thanks so much.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Angela.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.